Do everything the opposite of what you did in college. Instead of just throwing out that cocktail you know, stop and say to the bartender, what should I have? Because when they tell you what they want you to have, they light up.
The library bar at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel is this dark, wonderful, little intimate space where the bartender just takes care of you.
The whole idea of just kind of like slamming back alcohol and getting drunk to me is just not appealing. That's one of the reasons why I make the cocktails that I make.
Matt is one of the coolest people I've ever met.
The best cocktails I've ever had in my life, hands down.
The Breeders' Cup is based on a cocktail called the Gordon's Cup. It's one of those drinks that I didn't even have to try it. I knew it was going to be great from the moment that I made it.
The drink was fantastic.
It's almost like eating a dish of food, and it's just in a glass, and it's liquid.
He starts by muddling 3 slices of cucumber, fresh lime juice, and agave syrup.
Then he adds the beet horseradish, and you know beets are really high in sugar and beautiful color, so it makes it sweet, and then that horseradish gets you. Then comes the gin.
And then it's poured over a single gigantic ice cube in a rocks glass.
He uses cypress sea salt, which he sprinkles on top of the ice, and the glass is also lined on the inside with sliced cucumbers. But this is my favorite part. On top of that big rock of ice, he puts borage flowers. Not just one, not just 2, a bed of them. Yeah, edible flowers. I don't know if you've ever had edible flowers on a cocktail, but it is so beautiful. And these flowers are actually really delicious. They're crunchy, and they have kind of an oyster-like flavor, which is perfect because alongside your cocktail is a perfectly shucked fresh oyster.
This drink, you look at it, I didn't know whether to set it in a sunny windowsill, to drink it, to get a fork and eat it.
I felt like we were on vacation for that moment. It's a cheap way to take a vacation through a cocktail. Thank you, Matt.
The Spanish Rose cocktail captures the fruits and flavors of summer so beautifully. There's strawberries, chocolate mint, and rose water.
He takes a whole bunch of these flowers and steeps them in water for 2 days to make his own house-made rose water.
For the spirit, he uses gin. But he uses a floral, very rosy gin, which just pairs so perfectly with that rose geranium.
The next part is incredible. He takes elderflower liqueur, but he infuses it with saffron. And as these threads of saffron float through the elderflower, it's like a cocktail lava lamp.
He creates a foam out of it and then just sort of pipes it on the top.
And the color is so beautiful. It's like a creamsicle.
It's like romance in a glass. It couldn't get sexier.
And it's so refreshing.
I do an eggnog, usually in eggnog season, and people were always sad that I stopped it on January 1st. So I said, you know what, let me try to keep this alive somehow.
You need a bookend for the evening, and such an awesome bookend is the upside down umami deconstructed milkshake. Did we say that? We did. We did that. I said that. It comes in a double bubble shot glass.
I almost felt like he was almost like a witch doctor, you know, and these were his brews.
In the bottom, he uses ingredients like amaro, which is something that my grandfather always drank when he was alive, and it's an Italian bittersweet concoction with 13 herbs and artichokes in it.
Then he adds creme de cassis, a black currant liqueur.
And a triple malt Belgian beer reduced for 2 hours down to a glaze. Then he takes a maraschino cherry soaked in kirsch liqueur and puts it on the top as a stopper between the bottom and top layer.
The top part of the drink is a combination of Kentucky bourbon that's been steeped with candy cap mushrooms. Then he adds an entire egg.
The heavy cream gives it a very luxurious touch. Then he adds a little bit of vanilla bean paste.
Having this drink is truly the epitome of what's going on with cocktails. It's small, but it packs huge flavor.
It's like a winter's eggnog that became a summer milkshake.
The elderflower tart is a shot of summer.
This really was intended to be like an amuse-bouche, where it's like somebody sat down, let's say if I was extremely busy, it's one of those things that's almost like a waiting drink.
Oh my God, so good.
He starts by marrying something really floral, like elderflower liqueur, with something that's bitter and tart, rhubarb. To serve the cocktail, he puts in fresh, ripe strawberries at the bottom of the glass, and then he pours in the rhubarb elderflower liqueur.
Then he whips Meyer lemon juice with a little bit of soy lecithin, which kind of holds the foam like a nice meringue, and he puts that on top.
It's kind of like a strawberry rhubarb pie, which is so summertime. In a glass. In a glass. And it's sweet, it's tart, it's floral.
What I loved about the elderflower tart is that the Meyer lemons represent the end of winter, with the rhubarb and strawberry letting you know that summer's right around the corner, and there's no better way to ring in the summer than with that cocktail.
I look at cocktails as you would food, where you're going to sit down and you're going to enjoy that experience. And maybe that particular cocktail is going to evoke an emotion in you and actually going to stimulate a conversation with the person that you're with. I created the experience that I would like to have, which is enjoying it, being stimulated, really tasting it, and really having it open up your senses.